All right, so here we are with Leo,
Hi.
and we'll be working on Mars and Leo in the fourth. And we'll see if other planets come up.
hmm
Oftentimes they do.
Okay.
Um, yeah, so let's start with the subjects of the fourth house, which is like where you've grown up.
Okay. Let's do it.
Okay.
I've got some questions. I don't really know where to begin. So,
Okay, so you grew up in not Buckingham, there was another name you said.
yeah. So Milton Keynes is a 50-year-old city. It's quite new, but it was kind of built off the back of um, surrounding villages. Like you got Buckingham, Bletchley, and they've all kind of just merged into one. So that's why I said Buckingham works because I'm in Buckinghamshire, Buckingham. So yeah, it's quite a new place, quite adjacent to London. So yeah,
Adjacent to London. Okay.
yeah.
And
So,
do you actually there's something that comes up. Do you live alone first of all?
no, I live with my partner and I've just had a baby. She's 8 months old. So I live with those people at the moment.
Okay. What is it like at home? What do you guys do? What is the some homes are very quiet, some homes there's a lot of activity, some homes you're like reading and chatting. So what is your home
So
flavored?
we're quite quiet. I grew up in chaos. So for me, the way that I live is very much different to that. Me and my partner, we're quite reserved. We are we like a lot of like intellectual conversation, like a lot of books, a lot of politics. Got my wages, the landlord thing here. That's sort of our lifestyle. We're quite, not very outgoing. We're quite introverted. Um, yeah, so we're homebodies, I would say.
Okay, there's two things that point me towards your Mars and Leo in the fourth. One of them, the landlord and the wages. I want to hear about that. And I also about the chaos at home. So let's start with the landlord and the wages.
Mm. So I'll just put it here. But like I said, we're quite political. We are, we lean sort of left and things like that. Um, I don't know how to explain it. We were just really interested in the way the world works, how it affects us. Um, yeah, and it's just like it's quite a big theme in our life. We both grew up working class, not we're not very well off, things like that. And it affects us, to day life still. So
So you're
yeah,
vocal about like what's happening in your country.
oh, 100%, yeah,
Okay,
definitely, yeah.
there I start to feel Mars and Leo in the fourth.
Okay, it's interesting as well. Sorry, my partner is also Mars Leo, not in the fourth, but he's also a Mars Leo too. So
Okay, maybe we're gonna hear about that as well. Because
okay,
the fourth house is it's your country. It's how things are happening
oh, okay,
in the UK.
yeah,
Yeah. So immediately when you tell me that you're vocal and you're politically involved, I feel the Mars in Leo in the fourth, right? Fighting against or
yeah.
being vocal for a different vision that you have for the country.
No, definitely. That's something that we're quite passionate about. Only in the last maybe 5 years, it's been a journey. We've both been quite um interested, shall I say, like from our backgrounds and things like that. But yeah, I think once sort of COVID hit, it kind of really changed our mindset, for in our opinion, for the better. So we've kind of just built on it since then, really.
Okay, I want to hear more about that, but I just want to point out
Mm,
that in your chart, Mars makes an exact trine to Jupiter in the seventh, Sagittarius.
yeah,
So if you think about, you said that with your partner, you have quite an intellectual exchange and you
yeah,
read and you talk a lot about politics and about
mhm,
things that are going on. Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
So do you see that Jupiter in the seventh having that level of relationship with your partner?
So what
That
do you mean?
that is like intellectual and you well think about it, that's Jupiter, right? To be interested in the outside world and what's
Okay.
happening and to be informed and to like
Mm.
have intelligent conversation. You can't have those conversations with everyone.
No, you can't. No, with Ross, my partner, there's just something about him. I don't know, but it's always been something. that we've exchanged. And so he was my first partner that I've been with him for 10 years. And I don't know how to explain how it just flows between us. Like it's something that we're really passionate about. And even before the politics and things, just knowledge in general. Like we used to make a joke about him giving me Ross facts. Like he would just come up with all these facts. Like we're just interested in knowledge. I don't know how else to put it. We're just really interested in just expanding and having the conversations, and him giving me ideas and vice versa, and sort of listening to each other. Yeah, it's been a really big thing for our entire relationship. But it's the last, like I said, 5 years. It's been much more intense. We've kind of expanded the conversation a lot more.
Can you give me some like visual about that so I can better understand, like, how does it take place in your life? Do you canvas? Do you watch documentaries? Do you just talk about it? Do you go out and protest?
So we haven't been big protesters, admittedly, but it's just like we'll see something online, we'll see a documentary, it'll be in the book. Obviously TikTok's a big one these days, kind of like bounce ideas off. I'll bring it up, he'll bring it up, and we'll just bounce off each other. We'll just discuss it. I'm a little bit worse than him in regards to seeing, I don't know, things online that will really get my back up. I'm quite passionate about all sorts of things, and I'll just need to sound off to him, and he will either like agree with me, give me a different perspective about it. Maybe I'm taking it a bit too seriously, or maybe I'm not taking it seriously enough, and he'll, and vice versa. Although he's much more towards me, like I'm very fiery and passionate, and he's a bit more level-headed and logical than I am. So we kind of balance each other out in that sense. But it'll be anything. We could be outdoors and we'll see something. We could look at the sky and it will spark a memory or a fact, or I don't know. It's just very natural. It comes naturally to us.
Okay. So whatever you're seeing, if you're agitated or you're just expressing a lot, you're sharing.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so do you see that Mars and Leo in the fourth? That's what's happening at home is a place where you can really ah.
That now you've explained it and I've kind of spoken about it, I get it more now for sure. Yeah, definitely.
The other part, by the way, because when I go and like the art that is behind you is quite loud.
Yes. Yeah.
Is it just, are you in an office space or something?
No, this is our living room.
Okay.
Actually. Yeah.
So is your house kind of maximalist in that way?
Well, it's growing. Like we have only recently moved here and been able to um express ourselves properly, because before we were like renting and things like that. We now rent off a family member, so now we're able to fully show off what we want to show off. So this is a work in progress, but a lot of the art, like this one here, my partner actually made that himself. We've got a communist propaganda one here, and then we've got like these. But like I said, it's growing. The house is like purple and green and black. We've got artwork in places, lots of plants everywhere. So yeah, we're going into that. We're not quite there yet. So
All right. Do you see the Mars and Leo in the fourth again in that?
yeah, I do. Yeah, it's really interesting. I never really would have put that to that, because, like I said to you in my message, I'm not the most clued up with these placements. I'm still learning myself. So yeah.
Right. And if you think about the contact with Jupiter, um, like a lot of your art, from what I've seen, there's a message, for example, the communism, right? Or about the wages.
Yeah.
Right. So when art takes you to those places, like when it takes you towards there comes Jupiter.
Right. Okay.
Okay, right. So it's not just like I don't know, abstract expressionist art. It's art, and then some of it is also political art.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, no, definitely.
Right. So then I hear the Mars, and of course, because it's the most one of the most exact aspects in your chart.
Hmm.
Right. So how much energy there is in that between you and your partner with all the stuff you guys are passionate about discussing. Right. And so always growing and growing and growing in
Right.
your understanding through bouncing off each other. So there's the Jupiter in the seventh. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you watch films and stuff or like play music oftentimes at home?
Yeah, music is a big one, and films as well, but mostly music. We both really enjoy music. Again, it's more of Ross's influence on me. I am more like I kind of am more quiet. Like I won't play it out loud on the TV or things like that, but he does, and he'll like, especially since we've had Mabel, our baby, he'll dance around with her, and it's a really big thing, just relax and chill. So
Okay, do you see the Mars and Leo in that? Like listening to music together and also him dancing with Mabel, that being a big thing,
yeah,
Mars and Leo.
no, definitely, yeah.
Okay. Is he also English? Does he have any German roots?
Not as far as I'm aware, no.
Okay, because his name Ross, I don't know if you know this, but in German it means horse.
Oh, does it? Okay, no, I didn't know that.
Yeah, and the word rot, which is very similar, means red.
Oh,
And
okay,
I was just feeling that again in Jupiter and Sagittarius in your seventh, the centaur, the horse, Ross.
interesting. Okay,
Okay. Well, maybe
yeah.
that's just a me thing since I live in Germany.
No, but it things like that, they all kind of, I don't know, come together, don't they? They kind of coincidences. Yeah.
Were you ever into horse riding or anything like that?
No, I've never done it myself, but
Um, okay. Now that we talked a bit around, where else can you notice it inside your house?
um, I don't know.
Are you smokers? Do you ever have parties? Do you invite people over for gatherings and events?
No, surprisingly not.
Do you ever have loud neighbors or like a landlord that you're fighting with?
So no, surprisingly not. I would say that like the party and the smoking, the things like that, I would put that back to my childhood. That's kind of what I've come from. Um, and I used to be a smoker before Mabel, because once I got pregnant, I just kind of let that all go. But I mean, I would say I'm more of a partier than my partner is, but that would be external. Like we don't really enjoy having guests over, really. Like I said, we're quite reserved in that sense, quite introverted, like in the home space, really. Um, like partying and things like that is more of a me thing, but when I go out, like I'm happy to do that when I go out and about with people, not in the home though. Because like I said, that's my past, and it's not something I enjoyed growing up with my family. So I don't want to put that energy into the house
Can you
now.
tell me about that? How it was growing up?
Yeah. So my mum and my stepdad, my mum had me quite young, I guess, yeah, at 21. And a lot of my memories are sort of like lots of people being over the house all the time, lots of partying, lots of drugs involved, staying up really late, and I'm in bed trying to sleep and I can't sleep. A lot of fighting as well, especially like obviously between my mum and my stepdad, a bit of domestic violence as well. Yeah, like just a lot of not good stuff really. And it's not something that I want to continue in my life with my daughter. I'm very passionate about that. I don't want her to feel uncomfortable in her own home, which is how I felt a lot growing up. I kind of felt like I was I don't know. Because I just didn't enjoy it. I didn't like the energy that all of my mum's friends brought over and things like that. I just it wasn't for me. I would much rather have stayed upstairs and on the family computer playing The Sims, but I was kind of always forced to go down to the barbecue, to the party, to like socialize with everyone, and I just really did not want to do that. Um, yeah, and I just never really felt like my voice was heard in that sense. My siblings can confirm that too. It's very chaotic, and yeah, quite heavy.
Do you hear? Do you see the Mars and Leo in the fourth?
Yeah, I do. Yeah. See, when you mentioned Mars Leo fourth, that is what my mind goes to the most. I feel that energy more so there. Obviously, you've given me a different perspective after just kind of discussing the things I've mentioned, because I didn't really realize that it still carried on into my present life. yeah, that is where my mind goes when I think of Mars, Leo in the fourth is my childhood. So yeah.
Okay. Um, are you strongly opinionated about how to arrange things in the house, for example, or in general, are you just like a strongly vocal person?
I'm definitely in general a strongly vocal person, but I would say that that has come later in life. I have really struggled with using my voice growing up. I was always called like the mouse, quiet, and I would like squeak a lot. um, so it's only really like, again, for some reason in the last 5 to 6 years where I've felt compelled to actually use my voice more, be more vocal about things I'm passionate about, opinionated about. And that's even within my relationship. Like obviously me and Ross have always had that exchange with each other. But again, in the last few years, that has really shone through with me. And I felt a lot more empowered to use my voice as I've gotten older. Um, yeah, it's been a journey. Yeah.
So how are you using your voice currently, like this week, for example?
See, I I would still say I'm a bit of an online would I say troll? I don't know. Um but I like to use my voice in online spaces. Now I don't post myself online. I don't like I don't, put myself out there. It's in the comment sections, but it's mostly online that I will sort of like fight people. I will argue with them. I will put my opinions out there. In
Hmm.
my Instagram stories as well. Like I am very strong with the things that I put up on my stories. Yeah. And recently I've actually started trickling into real life. For example, I went on a work leaving do, and one of my co-workers said something about children should be smacked in public. I lost my, sorry, can I swear? I don't know if I
Yeah.
can. I lost my shit. Um, massively lost my shit, and I went in on her, and I was like shaking and everything. Because I don't do it in real life. I can do it behind a screen. I can do it behind a phone. That's easy peasy.
Ah.
Yeah, but I really struggle to do that in real
Are you
life.
hearing that in the fourth house? Are you hearing the fourth house in that?
I feel like I am a little bit. Yeah,
Because the fourth house is something that you is reserved, it's hidden.
yeah,
You
yeah.
you keep it for yourself, or you show it only to the people that are very close to you.
Yes. So, for example, Ross has always said to me, like, why, not why like in a negative way, but you put all this energy on me, but you don't do it with other people. And I'm like, it's because I'm comfortable with you. Like, you will either validate me or not put me down, but in a negative way, but like bring me down a notch and be like, Leah, like you're overthinking or whatever. But yeah, with real people, but I since having Mabel as well. I'm not going to sit there and listen to someone say that children should be snacked. I've got a child. I don't agree with that. And also going back to my childhood, that was my childhood. I
Do
was,
you
I was,
see how it brought you to the fourth house, that comment?
yeah, I did, yeah, yeah,
And that is what brings out the Mars and Leo, right?
yeah, yeah. But yeah, that's my thing. Uh, but recently, like I said with Mabel, I can't keep quiet about these things anymore. If I'm out in public as well, no, and I'm not going to sit there and listen to someone want to bash children. That's I don't agree with that. There's a lot of things I don't agree with, and I'm starting to use my voice, and because sometimes I do a bit of the people pleasing thing where I'll be like, I'll kind of be like, yeah, okay, and I'll see the other side and I'll balance it out, and I'll kind of keep quiet a little bit and stuff like whatever. But no, that the yeah, no, not anymore.
I'm also thinking about that you comment online and you do it in your Instagram stories.
mm,
So that
yeah,
again for me is like the fourth house. Like you do it from safety. You don't go out and challenge people face to face.
no, no.
What might you say? What might you put on your Instagrams just to have a visual?
So like political things, I will kind of make digs. Like if I notice any of the people that I follow put something that I don't agree with, I might passive aggressively put something up in response to that.
Okay.
And it might not be aimed at them. I don't know. If they think it is, then if the boot fits, the shoe fits, or whatever, um, things like that. The other day, or recently again, since having Mabel, I will put up a lot of things about there's like the child-free space online. Now you can be child-free if you don't want children. I don't really care, but I don't like it when people hate children. So again, I will passive aggressively put up things about people who I know actually say they hate children. I will put those stories up, and it will be aimed at them. And if they want to take it that way, that's fine. Do you see what I mean? Like that's the energy that I kind of put
Yeah.
on my
And
stories.
I'm feeling the Jupiter again
Okay.
because you're fighting with people around beliefs, essentially, how they see the world versus how you see it. The
Yeah.
politics they have, the reasoning that they share versus the one that is right for you. So
Yeah.
that constant agitation from the things that people say that reflects how they see the world, right? The Mars Jupiter also being super involved in politics, right? Which is again about somebody's vision, how their philosophy about how things should be. So there I feel the Mars Jupiter that you're so activated in the first place at the intellectual level.
Hmm. Yeah. No, I would agree with that. I've always felt, I don't know, I've always felt like I've been quite intellectual and things like that. It's just using it in the right way as well. I don't know.
What do you do for work?
Oh, I'm actually at the moment a landscaper, but not in the traditional sense of like doing people's gardens. Um, it's an ecological landscaper, I guess you could say. And the company I work for is an ecology company with mitigation sites for nature. So we've kind of put the nature back into them. So we'll plant trees, like maintain them. If there's nesting birds, we'll protect the birds on the site. If there's great crested newts, we'll make sure that they're protected. Yeah, so but I'm on maternity leave at the moment, so I'm kind of like I'm in going R-ing if that's the right path for me. But yeah,
So you were doing it for some time.
since 2024, I think.
Oh, not too long.
No, no, but my career's always been all over the place. I was in procurement, but so like buying before that, like administration. But it was driving me insane. I don't like being stuck in an office. Um, yeah, so I took the risk. I did dog walking before I went into the landscaping because I wanted to be outside. Yeah,
Uh-huh.
so I started doing the landscaping. It's good. I enjoy it. I like being outdoors, but yeah,
I don't understand the ecological, like the first thing that's coming up for me, because we're focusing on Mars at the moment, right? So
yeah.
I'm imagining like being outside, you're under the sun.
Hmm.
And I also felt the fourth house because it's like you're there to stand up and protect the environment and the birds and the trees and whatever. So that feels very like Mars in the fourth on that side, like
Okay.
fighting for, your surroundings.
Yeah, absolutely. That's what I enjoy doing, definitely. And the role that the company that I'm actually working for, uh, we're doing it on the HS2. Now the HS2 is quite a political it's a big thing, it's a big project in the UK because they've decimated a lot of the countryside, and to put in
Uh-huh.
this railway for like I don't even know if it's like north south to north, I don't know. So it's a big thing. Um and as much as none of us, like my team, don't agree with working on it, what I tell myself is that at least we're putting something back into what's been taken away, you know? So we're trying to sort of reestablish. I mean, you can't put 1,000-year-old tree back into the ground once it's been chopped. You just can't. But at least, in my opinion, the trees that we are planting might still be there in 1,000 years, you know? So
Okay. What I'm feeling is a little different
okay.
about Mars in this case. Um, it's about your country being decimated.
Mm.
So
Yeah.
there I feel the Mars in Leo, like the intense fire, right? Cutting down all the trees to make,
Mm.
and destroying the country's natural resources, making it more dry, making it more hot.
Mhm.
And then the connection with Jupiter again, that it's the railway, because Jupiter is in Sagittarius, right? So imagine the railway is taking you somewhere far.
Okay. Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Yeah.
And so this is like a part that the company you're working for, this is one of the major kind of projects that they're focused on. So it's a part of your consciousness
Yeah.
constantly, like how I see it. Yeah.
No, yeah,
And
definitely.
also like the expansionist, I mean, it's all the fire element, right? The trains and the coal and the electricity and all that stuff. And does that make sense?
No, it does. No, absolutely. Yeah, I see it. Definitely. I definitely see
Okay.
that. Yeah.
Uh-huh. Okay, so and do you how can I explain? Okay, you said you don't really want to be there anymore. Where do you see yourself moving towards instead?
See, I don't know. I've never really felt like I've had a true direction, like interest. I feel like my interests are very scattered, maybe, of like what I really want to do. Don't get me wrong, I really enjoy this job role. It's more the politics of working in a workplace that I struggle with, the hierarchy and things like that. Um,
Uh-huh.
yeah,
Tell
like
me more about that.
it's just like, managers, HR. I know no one from my work is going to see this, hopefully, but there's a project manager at work who is on the wrong side, if you like. So I don't know if you know much about UK politics, but we've got Reform UK, the right wing political party, and he is very open about his support for that. And he's made quite racist remarks. He's made some very questionable pedo remarks, should I say? And I've complained, everyone else has complained, but because he brings the money in. Now I'm using these quotes because, in my opinion, the landscapers, if you didn't have us landscapers doing the projects that you are winning, you wouldn't have the work. You wouldn't, the work wouldn't get done, you wouldn't get paid for it. But because he's a project manager and he brings the contracts in or whatever he does, they don't care about what he says, how he says it, and
Uh-huh.
it's things like that that really bother me, and I feel quite passionate.
Okay.
Um,
I hear uh-huh, okay, go on.
I was just gonna say, I don't like the co-worker that I had to go at with the child thing. I have to really bite my tongue because I will get myself in trouble. But the problem is, he can say all of these wrong things, but if I combat that, I'm the one that gets in trouble, and I don't like that. I've got a strong sense of justice, and it doesn't sit right with me. So yeah, that and obviously HR protect him because that's what HR does, and he brings in the money, so all the managers, the directors, they love him, whatever. So that's what I mean. Like, I would rather work by myself, but I'm also rubbish at doing that. So here I am.
Okay, so do you see again the very close trine between Mars and Jupiter in the fourth and seventh? And there's that antagonizer you're constantly working with who has beliefs that you really don't agree with about the country.
Yeah, no, that's yeah, really good example. Yeah, definitely. It
Okay.
makes me feel a bit embarrassed because I'm so passionate about it, and I just feel like sometimes my passion is directed in the wrong way. But I don't agree that it is sometimes like this. I think I'm right, basically.
Yeah. Okay. Do you hear the Mars in Leo in the
But
fourth
yeah,
now?
for this definitely, yeah, definitely I do. Yeah.
Okay, let's just take a pause here.
Hmm.
Also, your hair.
My hair, yeah.
Well,
It
you're
was
fire dominant. You have a lot of fire in your chart. So look at, I mean, you're like, see, you're the flame. Like, what? Even the
that's
roses that are behind. And notice also the colors behind you. It's like black, which is like when you burn something to ashes, it turns black. And then
yeah,
there's like reds everywhere.
yeah. So it's funny actually. So the kitchen out there is black, all black with like green. You say fire. we've got purple, we've got green sofa with orange cushions and orange poof, what they call poofs, like the things you put your
Yeah.
feet. Yeah, so we've got the orange as well. Yeah.
So it's all really in your face actually in the house. It's not a normal white wall house.
Oh my god, no! Me and Ross are both like, why would you want a white beige house? No offense to anyone that loves that vibe, but it's just not. It's not for us. Like we want the color. We want the. I don't. We want to show off our personalities like that. You know, we're quite passionate about that. So yeah.
Okay, great. Do you feel like you got like a much bigger idea about the Mars
For
placement?
sure. Yeah, definitely. Especially in my current life, because like I said, I always attribute that to my past. I don't really think about how it still plays out in my current, you know? So no, I really appreciate you kind of expanding my mind there because I would never have thought that anything that I do today was relevant to that. So yeah, no, definitely.
The other thing I want to say is I meet with a lot of people. You're a person that picked up everything very quickly, like it was extremely smooth. So I immediately feel Jupiter in your seventh house.
Oh really? Okay.
Yeah, how you're used to having those like higher, more you're just more intelligent and you're well, that sounds so bad. Yeah. Anyway, I just feel Jupiter in your seventh house is what I want to say.
No, thank you. Because I feel sometimes when people come across me that they might see me as like dumb at first. I feel like maybe sometimes I'm quite unassuming to someone that isn't maybe as knowledgeable as yourself. I don't know. A lot of people kind of don't, or they're quite surprised that I might have political stances on things, strong opinions, and that a lot of people just see me as I don't know what they see me as, but just not how you've seen me, if that makes
The
sense.
people that get to know you, do they all get to like do they all know you as that you actually are a very passionate, intense person?
Yeah, they do. Once they get to know me, I might not give that off at first though. I always sound quite reserved, but I think I've kind of just put that in my head a bit too much. I actually don't really think I am. But yeah, I don't know. I think it just depends on the moment and things like that. So yeah,
Okay, so you see the fourth house in that, right?
yeah, yeah.
Okay, great. All right, I'm gonna stop recording here.
Lovely. Okay.
So Leah and I are signing out. Goodbye, everyone.